Well, in 10 minutes, we recall that famous meeting between Henry M. Stanley and Dr. Livingstone in an episode from the award-winning drama documentary series, The Search for the Nile. Before that, on BBC Two, Harold Williamson is in the company of children talking.
What do you think it would be like to run a home?
Well, it isn't very nice, really, because no one helps you. When they're lying in bed, you're up doing the work. And when you get up in the morning and the husband's not up and he gets up after you'll have to do the bed after him. And when he goes off to work, you'll have to do all the breakfast things.
Well, I think most men do help, but some men are very lazy.
What would you do?
Do the washing up and make cakes and sweep the floor and tidy the rooms up and make the beds.
Why would you do all this?
Because I want to.
And what would you expect your wife to do in the house?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
No.
Well, what would she be doing all day then?
Sitting down on the chair.
Supposing you had a home of your own and you had some people in for dinner, what's the best thing?
Cheese pie.
What?
Cheese pie.
Can you make cheese pie?
Yes.
How? How do you make it?
Well, you grind the cheese and make lots of it, and you boil some potatoes up, and then put it in a dish, and then mix it all up, and some butter, and then put it in the oven.
And what does it taste like?
Lovely.
What would you give them for the best meal you can think of?
Well, the best meal I can think of is a three-course one. The first course would be fish, because I like that. And, well, I wouldn't have liver, because that tastes horrible. And, well, fish and chips or something like that, sausage and chips. I like that stuff. Well, and the second course would be stew or soup or something like that, something extravagant. And, well, I don't know what I'd give them for the third lot. Anything they liked, I suppose. Fruit cocktail, nice fresh fruit salad and things like that.
Do you like them as well?
Yes. I wouldn't give them anything I didn't like. That means I wouldn't be able to eat anything.
But what about their tastes?
Oh, well, I'd try to find out about them first and give them something which included my taste as well as their tastes.
But what if it came to a choice, you know, if it came to something that you liked and they didn't like? What then?
Well, they always say courtesy pays, so I'd try and give them something they liked, even if it meant I couldn't have one of the courses.
You'd suffer this?
Yeah.
Have you ever been out yourself for a meal in someone's house when you didn't like what was put in front of you?
Oh, yes. After, when we went to London, once we stayed at a hotel, by the sea it was, and they gave us liver, bacon and lamb. Ew. It tasted horrible.
This was in an hotel?
Yeah.
Well, what did you do about this when you didn't like it?
Well, I made Mum eat the liver. She loves that.
What about you? If you had your own way and you could have your idea of an ideal home, what would it be like? Where would it be?
I'd have in an island, and I'd have servants. I'd have servants doing all the work sometimes. Let them have like days off. Sunday and Saturday and Monday and Wednesday, something like that.
Why would it be on an island?
So you can be all by yourself then. Nobody's bossing you around. Like the Queen saying, you gotta do this, you gotta pay your rates and all this. You'd be all right, just when she paid the island.
You are?
And what would you do in your ideal home on this island?
I'd have a record player. I'd have opera records. I'd play opera, and I'd have very few pop records. I'd listen to opera. I'd get the music from babies crying, dogs, cats, any kind of animals.
Which
birds.
music would you get from them?
Opera mostly.
You would write opera as well?
Yes, I would write it. And I'd listen to it as well.
Is it very difficult to write opera?
Not really, no. Just have to listen and write. Some people get it out of the brain and some people get it out of animals.
How do you mean get it out of animals?
Like when an animal's been hurt, crying makes like a sad song, or when a baby's crying. Get a happy song when a dog's panting, and, you know, like a beat of a drum then.
And this makes music?
Sometimes, yes.
But I'd have pictures on the wall, two sides of the wall with the lion and the cheetah on, and the two other middle walls, they'd have horses and dogs.
It would be all animals?
Yes, it would be all animals.
Why?
Because I like animals. And I just like animals, that's all.
And why the cheetah? Why did you pick that one?
Well, it's a very sort of fast animal, and it's a very cunning animal, just the same as the lion is. Well, that's all, I just like it.
And the horses?
Well, I'd love to be in a riding school and learn to ride a horse. I'd call my horse Blackie. So I love horses as well. And if I had a dog, I'd take that out for walks every day, and I'd enjoy it.
But you'd have the paintings on the wall, and a horse in the stable, and a dog in the house. But what about children in your house?
I wouldn't have any children because I've got all the animals to look after as well. So I wouldn't have the children.
Not ever?
No.
What about you? Where would your ideal home be?
Well, probably under the sea. Round about where there's lots of coral and oysters.
Lots of...
Coral and oysters.
Is it possible to live under the sea?
Yes.
Well, how would you breathe?
Well, it'd be an oxygen tank up in the roof, and some pipes coming round to each room. One for the oxygen to come in and one for the used air to go out.
But what's wrong with living on land?
Too much noise. And people bothering you.
In what way?
Asking you to do jobs for them.
When you two get married, what would you expect your husbands to do? What do you think they should do in the home?
While us lie back, they do the work.
What?
Well, we love that they do the work.
What kind of work would you expect them to do?
Well, housework and that, help.
Wash all the washing.
Why do you think the husbands should help in the home?
Well, we're not slaves, are we, after all? We wasn't born like that, was we? We wasn't born to slave.
What about you? Do you help in the house?
Yes, every Saturdays I make the beds and wash up and tidy the living room.
Will you get married?
No,
You won't?
no,
Why not?
no, I know.
What have you got against being married and having a home of your own?
Why, they'd be getting us to work then.
What?
They'd be getting us to work.
Who would be?
The wives.
But I thought you liked helping in the home.
Why, they're nice when you get paid.